Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about the NFL draft. Probably should have done this a couple days ago, but screw it. I'm going to do it now. Um, I'm going to mainly focus on the two teams that really matter to me, which, of course, is my Chicago Bears and the Jacksonville Jaguars, just because I'm in town. So, we'll talk a bit about them. Now, the Bears, they picked for their needs. I'm not excited about this draft, but it wasn't a bad one. I mean, they potentially replaced the backup quarterback on the third day, which was decent. They focused on fixing parts of their defense that were short. The cornerback situation, the defensive tackle situation. So they did focus a lot on defense. And being a diehard Chicagoan, I believe in the monsters of the Midway. I believe that was a good thing. Um, Ever since Urlacher was not re-signed and retired, it's just felt like the defense has slipped immensely, and maybe it was partially because the other one who was supposed to be taking over as the Mike linebacker he was hurt last year, so it just never came together, and it always felt like no matter how dynamic their offense was, their defense was just a shadow of what it always used to be. So they fit the pick. Now, here's where I'm a little bit concerned, because the skank ass piece of crap Green Bay Packers looks like they had a damn good draft. They took some dynamic players that could have a major impact and might have made them better. And I'm worried that it might be better on a higher scale than the Bears made themselves. So I can't really, a lot of it's going to be, I can't really grade them yet. But if I was doing a grade, unfortunately, looking at it from a third-party perspective, I think that the fucking Packers, either they hit like a grade B draft or maybe even a grade A. Bears, high C, low B. That worries me. And then you got the Jaguars. What can I say about the Jaguars? There's, man. Overall, I think they actually had a good draft. I guess that's the best way to put it. I know a lot of people are upset they didn't take Johnny Manziel for quarterback, but he looks like he's going to be feast or famine. He looks like he's going to be dynamic and powerful when he's out there, maybe somewhat of a gunslinger. He's almost going to feel like a Brett Favre, maybe, where he can win games by himself, but on the same token, he's going to be able to lose games by himself. What worries me is I look at him and I just wait. He looks to me like an injury waiting to happen, and I don't think the Jaguars can survive having that key a player being on the sidelines a lot. And if he had come to Jacksonville, I think he would have ended there a lot, because Jaguars don't have the offensive line for that. So they went and took Blake Bortles. Now, Blake Bortles looks like almost like a carbon copy of Roethlisberger in his own way. Now, everybody I've heard talk about it says, he had a good, he had one good game, and he had a decent, season, but they don't feel like he's totally proven. Like it was a big reach for them to take him. It probably was. However, with the fact that their offensive line kind of sucks ass, I think that he might actually fit the mark, because he'll stay on the field more, and he's got to be better than Sunshine. That'd be Blaine Gabbert. I call him Sunshine because anybody who's seen Remember the Titans, every time we see him, we think Sunshine, and anyways, why do you call him that? Because he's from California. He's not, but it's funny to say it. They also kind of addressed some other stuff. I mean, they picked up another wideout. They picked up an offensive lineman, and they got Aaron Colvin, who I thought was going to go a lot higher, but because of injury worries, he slipped a bit. I don't think they could have passed him up, and he's not as key a cog in the system like a quarterback would be, where even if he does get a little hurt, it's not going to be a big deal. Outside of that, they, they had a they had a good run. I mean, they had a good draft, but it's hard to say how good a draft because, frankly, the Jaguars had nowhere to go but up. Um, I mean, at this point, Smith might have been one of their better pickups um, as an outside linebacker, and what the hell's the guy's name? They picked him up real late. Storm Johnson. Um, he's gonna be the backup halfback. For how late he went, he looks like he should have went at least 3 rounds higher. So that I think is a really good pick. And I think that the Jaguars have added a little bit of dynamic personality. They're making up for the fact that they're not. They're probably not going to have. They're probably. I think they're done with Blackman. I think he's out for the year. I think they're going to be done with him. He's just screwed up one too many times. Lose the crack pipe, dude. Maybe you'll make it in the NFL. If otherwise, I mean, you had flashes of brilliance, but why the hell can't you get away from it? You're getting paid all this goddamn money. Pay for rehab, goddamn it. You know. So, what does this mean for the Jaguars? I think they could push a 500 season this year if they get they get really lucky. I mean, I think that their division's weak enough. I mean, some people say, "What do you mean weak?" I mean, I think Indianapolis is they hinge too much on Andrew Luck, and if Andrew Luck goes down, I think they're going to slip hard. And the other teams, Tennessee and Houston. I mean, of course, Houston had a good draft because, I mean, Jesus Christ, they had the #1 pick, and they got Clowney. I mean, Clowney, he. The only question is, will he be another Mario Williams, who will have flashes of brilliance, and he won't look really good until he goes to another team. So, we'll see what happens there. So that's just my takes right there. I mean, really, the Bears and the Jaguars, and my little mention of the fucking piece of shit Green Bay Packers. That's all I'm going to do in this. There's too much. There's too many other X factors, and there's a lot more research I have to do because I'm not a huge college watcher. I tend to just kind of go over things. To me, watching college football is kind of like watching minor league anything, and it kind of annoys me. So unless I have a definite stake in it, who cares? I don't watch A-League baseball, and there's a reason for that. So that's it, guys. Have a good one.